All right, Derek Stingley and Dameon Pierce, their rookie seasons have come to an end. They are on injured reserve now, and let's look back at their rookie seasons. Derek Stingley, a lot of people will point to this and say that was the biggest concern about Derek Stingley. Derek Stingley, you loved the tape that you saw, but the biggest concern was staying healthy, and you miss nearly what's going to be close to half of your season, your rookie season. A lot of those doubters are saying, I told you so. Now, we can look at this and we can say, well, they were kind of erring on the side of caution, and Derek Stingley wasn't a system fit for Lovie Smith. Lovie Smith wasn't running enough man with him. Lovie Smith wasn't using him the right way. But at the end of the day, he missed nearly half of his season. And Sauce Gardner, the pick right after him, regardless of how much better his surroundings are and how much better he's getting used, Sauce Gardner had very good season. Strong chance he ends up being a Pro Bowler, Sauce Gardner. So as far as Stingley's rookie season goes, you have to say it was a little bit disappointing. There were some good moments, there were some bad moments, but it's a little bit disappointing. I don't think it's the end-all be-all on Derek Stingley as a rookie. As far as Dameon Pierce goes, Dameon Pierce was one of the steals of the draft this year. It was a very smart move to shut down Dameon Pierce. I think if this team was competing, Dameon Pierce might play this week, as soon as this week. But they're erring on the side of caution. The tank, you can say, is officially on. Winning games is no longer the top priority. They're also holding out Brandon Cooks, so that's just where we're at. So good job with Dameon Pierce. I do think that they need to look very hard at easing the burden that Dameon Pierce has. They need to bring in some other running backs. It's inexcusable to have the worst running back situation in the league at this point. So I expect them to bring up a couple of backs next year, whether it's in the draft, whether it's in free agency, overpaying for Tony Pollard. They need to do something about the running back position. But no matter what, Dameon Pierce, he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to maybe close games for you, carry a heavy load on certain times, but you need someone to ease the load. So I think neither one of these picks you look back at and say, this was a big mistake. But you can say that Dameon Pierce, he surpassed everyone's expectations. Derek Stingley, disappointing. And the doubters, regardless of the variables, regardless of, why they're holding him out or how he was being used, the doubters are going to say Nick Caserio made the wrong choice when it comes to selecting Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley. We'll see who the new coach is. I think this officially means that the coaching search is going to be on in 4 weeks as well. They're not trying to win games. Last week was their last real effort to try to win games. Expect to beat down a Kansas City, and hopefully the Houston Texans are able to solidify that number 1 pick. And then draft time is going to get real interesting, and the offseason is going to get real interesting when we get our third head coaching search in 3 years. So Derek Stingley, pour one out for him. Dameon Pierce, pour one out for him. I offered John McClain, by the way. I offered John McClain because before the year, I told John McClain, I said, he's not going to rush for 1,000 yards. John McClain said, yes, he is. He's going to rush for 1,000. He got hurt last week. I told John, I'll let you out of the bet. You don't have to pay me a penny, sir. You don't have to pay me any of that $100. John McClain said, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. So I'm going to take the general's money. I love taking rich people's money. Is he going to pay me in 20s? Is he going to pay me in 10s? Who knows? But Dameon Pierce, make no mistake about it, he is 1,000-yard back. If the Texans were in the mix, Dameon Pierce would be out there gutting it out, doing what he's done all year. But we are erring on the side of caution. We know Dameon Pierce is going to be a big part of things moving forward. We know Derek Stingley is going to be a big part of things moving forward. So, yes, it sucks that we're not going to get to watch them play, and we're going to have to watch Rex Burkhead and other guys, although the corner depth's been pretty good. But it's not the end of the world. Not by any stretch of the imagination. The tank is officially on. The Texans have their eyes on that number 1 pick, and there are 2 guys that have shown you enough, regardless of any disappointment you have in Derek Stingley. There are 2 guys that have shown you that at the very least, they can be long-term pieces and hopefully key contributors whenever this team starts to compete. No matter what happens, remember, Subscribe to the channel, please. Trying to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. Follow on Twitter at Landry Locker, Instagram at Landry Locker. And always remember, no matter what happens, we are all in this together.